What's up, everybody? It's the Mail coming to you from the Small Fry Show. On tonight's video, I want to talk about a topic that seems to be out there a lot within the trucking community, and I want to give my 2 cents. And that is, should a dispatcher be required to be a driver before becoming a dispatcher? But before we get too deep in this thing, you already know what I need you to do. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to come join the family. Also, the views and topics expressed in these videos are mine and mine only. They do not represent the company that I work for. I am not a spokesperson for said company. Now that we got that out the way, how everybody doing? Hopefully everybody's well, alive, doing good. So let's jump straight into this topic here. I see it a lot, and I actually seen the video. I seen 2 videos within the past week where guys were saying dispatchers should be required to be drivers before they become a dispatcher, because they don't know what it's like to be in the truck and to have this understanding and that those type of things. And I can speak on both sides of the coin on this, because I've been a full-time driver for over 17 years, but up until coming here, I've been a field dispatcher for the last 2+ years. Now, so I really feel like this is a topic that I can give an educated opinion on from both sides of the coin, not just from the view of the driver, because a lot of times as drivers, and I've been guilty of this of myself as well, is that we're speaking on it from our aspect because that's all we know. We know we're away from home, we're living in the truck stop, we feel like the dispatcher don't communicate well, and the dispatcher, every dispatcher lies, and a host of things, and some of that very well may be true. And so what we have to remember is everybody's human, right? Everybody makes mistakes. And sometimes I'm a firm believer that we have to teach people how to treat us, how to deal with us, and the things that we like and we don't like. And it takes a little bit of time. For example, for me, I don't like surprises as a driver. If I gotta go here and somewhere else that's out of the norm, I like the heads up. I like to have that notice. Hey, from Cleveland, you going to Mansfield. Okay, cool, thank you. That's all I want is that communication. I may want to run my night differently. I may want to stop somewhere else. Whatever that looks like. And so once I learned the dispatcher side of it, there's things that came easy to me because I can relate to being a driver. I like the communication. I like to heads up. That's part of the communication. I like for the loads to be done on time. If I got a hook set, I want to know that. Those are the things that I give people in return, because I do know what it's like to be a driver. So when I'm dispatching in there, hey, I may call the guy and say, hey, when you get here, put your dolly up. You got a hook set. Or, hey, you know what? When you get here, you may have to wait a little bit because we there's some late freight coming in. If I can get out in front of it and just give a guy a heads up, hey, there was an example where a guy had to send a guy through another terminal on his way home. Called him, hey, listen, on your way back home, you guys stop in Cleveland. He's like, okay, cool, no problem, man. Thanks for the heads up. I'll be there, around this time. That way, he may want to run his night different, but then now he knows there's no surprises. If guys show up and their loads aren't ready, I'm like, hey, either I just talk to the doc, or I acknowledge that they're there, and I'm gonna give the doc a call and see what's going on. And that way I'm communicating with the doc, like, hey, we're getting close to the cut time. The driver's here. What are we waiting on? What are we looking like? And then now I can communicate that back to the driver. He may accept it, he may not, but I didn't ignore him, and I acknowledge that he was there, and that I know that he's there and he's waiting so he can do his return load. Those little things like that, as being driver has helped me be a dispatcher. So I agree that it's nice for a dispatcher to go with the driver. But honestly, at the end of the day, if that dispatcher don't care about the driver or what he or she is putting out, they can ride with a driver all day, every day. And then if they don't care, they're not going to put that out there to be a good dispatcher. It's got to be in you to be a good person, a good employee, a good worker. Just riding with someone ain't going to give you enough. It's the same as if you take a driver and sit them in the office. I feel like drivers should also sit with dispatchers so they can see what it takes to get these loads moved. You know, communicating with the dock. The city's got to pick it up. It's got to get back. They got to break it. It might be a head load. It might be some damaged freight that got to be moved. It may be overweight. They got to rework it. And then now you can see what it takes to get these loads moved on that side. But unless the driver cares enough about that, it ain't going to matter, because he just going to go back to the truck and say, oh, okay, well. And then now the dispatcher's mad at the driver. When you saw it, was like you here, the driver's mad at the dispatcher. Well, you was out here with me, you see what it took, but you lied to me. So when I'm a dispatcher, honesty is my key. Hey, it's messed up. Hey, it's not. Hey, I don't have anything for you tonight. You know, as much as you can be honest with these people and the drivers and treat them like humans, the better off you may be. Like I said, they may not accept it. They may not like it, but at the end of the day, you did your job as a dispatcher. And so, I actually get good comments and good remarks when I dispatch. But I believe part of that is what I have learned and experienced as a driver. The things that I like, the things that I've went through. And I say, okay, well, I'm not going to do this to the next person. So, I understand that. And same as logistics. I know routing, I know mapping, you know, but I'm not afraid to ask questions. Should I run this with this? Should I, you know, or how is this? Or at the same token, I'm not ashamed or afraid to tell the driver, hey, I'm sorry, that was on me. For example, there's a load that takes 2 different terminals. I had them on 2 of the same terminal. They closed the other one, and I ended up having to call them and switch them. And when he came in, I told him, I said, hey, I apologize. That was on me. They updated it in my email, and I missed it. I missed it in the email. I seen the email, but forgot to update it on my end. So that was on me. I took full accountability for it, ownership of having to switch them. And he's like, oh, okay, no problem. Some drivers are going to huff and puff. They're going to be upset. They're going to be mad. I get it. Time is important when you're out here. So I didn't want to blame it on nobody else or just sweep it under the rug like it didn't happen. And that's why I said, hey, that was on me. I dropped the ball on that one. Those are the things that's going to help both sides. And maybe as a driver, if a dispatcher says, hey, I was a driver, so I understand, I can relate, that can help you a little bit in the heat of the moment and when somebody's upset and worked up and whatnot. But we all can stand to learn from each other. It takes, I made a video on this, it takes a lot to get these loads down the road. It takes salespeople. It takes people to pick the loads up, especially in the LTL. It takes, OS&D people. It takes the city dispatchers, line haul dispatchers, drivers, management. It's the shop to keep the equipment on the road. It takes all that to work together and understand what everybody is dealing with and everybody is going through, and what it takes to get these loads moved in a safe and timely manner. And what happens is with these conversations that I see, the driver is putting themselves above everything else because he feels like his job is the worst. My job, I'm away from home, and I'm doing this and I'm doing that, and then communicating. Now the driver's going to bear the brunt of the consequences if there's a lack of communication. They're going to be at the truck stop. They're going to be late for a pickup. They're going to be late for a delivery. The time is clicking, and I understand that 100%. That's why I communicate when I'm a dispatcher, but I also give that same thing back when I'm a driver, because I know, I see when I'm in there what it takes to be a dispatcher. So I can relate on the driver's side as well when I'm out here and my loads ain't done, or I'm waiting on a driver or freight or you know, I feel like the dispatcher ain't communicating with me. I communicate that with them. Hey, I don't like that. I want you to communicate with me as well. I can't control how you treat the other 10 people. But I want you to know when Sir Mel is on the phone, is give me as much heads up as you can. I'm not asking you to be perfect. But if you remembered in your head, hey, cool, you know what? Sir Mel, you got to do this. Or Sir Mel, you got to do I'm going to do it. I just want that little notice. I don't like surprises. And so that's where I said sometimes we got to help people know how to treat us in things that we like, because it may take me a couple times, but it's going to stand out to me, and I'm going to say, okay, this driver likes it when I tell him that he got a video, or this driver likes it when I give him the heads up on he got a hook set when he get here. You know, so I remember those things over time and say, okay, if that's what I can do to make a driver's day, okay, cool. You know, hey, I'm gonna get you out, man, as soon as you get here, or you know, you ain't gonna have to wait. I appreciate the heads up, or you scratch my back tonight, man. I'm you know, tomorrow I'll give you something shorter so you can get home at a decent time, you know, or Friday night. I just go up here and go back, man. That way you help me out, and I appreciate it. Things like that go a long way in this industry. You know, the saying is true. You'll attract more bees with honey than you do flies with you know what, you know? So that's something that I would like to see both sides do, not just the dispatcher going with a driver. Here at this company, one of the dispatchers, she was a clerk. They put her out with a driver for 3 or 4 days, you know, to see what it's like that. But I have yet to see a driver go in and sit in who wasn't going to be in that role. And I think that would be good, so we can have a mutual understanding of both sides of the coin. That's just my opinion on it. And if you're able to open your mind and not just be one-sided in this situation, then the whole thing is one big transaction, one big ball. Everything will roll as smoothly as possible. Not every day, but most days, because we all will have an understanding of what each other do. You know, even if it's going to sit out on the dock and see what it takes to break a load or get a load loaded, or the hazmat or the tires, or some stuff is floor loaded, some stuff is palletized. Anything that you can do to further yourself and have a better understanding in this industry will help you. But like I said earlier, it's up to you to care enough to want to see it a different way, because if you stuck on the driver, or dispatcher did this, then you only going to be seeing it that way, and that's the hamster on the wheel mentality. You're moving, but you ain't going nowhere. So as long as you're able to open your mind up, I came here as a line haul driver. And since I've been a line haul driver, I've been certified on the spotter, certified driver trainer, I've fill-in dispatcher. I've learned all that at the expense of this company, because I cared enough to want to do more and want to learn more. I tried to be certified on the forklift. They told me no, because I would never use it. And I understood that was a waste. But that's how much you got to care and want the best for your career and what you're doing. And that all that was me wanting to learn and have an understanding of the different departments and what it takes. That way I can be relatable on all sides. Hey, I've sat in, I understand what you're saying. Thank you. You explain it, or I don't understand. Can you explain it a little more, please? Those are things you got to think about when you're upset and you're preaching dispatcher should be a driver. Because the same way the dispatcher should be a driver, the driver should have to be a dispatcher before he come and be a driver, so he understands what it takes to get these loads down the road. That's just my 2 cents towards it. But as always, make sure you're around here and pick up your delivery on time and safely. Call your loved ones, tell them you love them. Love on somebody today. But most importantly, be the reason that somebody smiles today. The world needs it now more than ever. It's Sir Mel coming to you from the one and only Small Fries Show, and I'm out. Peace.